What's up, everybody? It's Anchorpete, and we are live here to talk about Superman and Lois, episode 5, and Pepper is coming to join me. I guess she's getting a snack. Not like we're doing a live show or anything over here, Pepper. Watch out for that plug. All right, guys. So here we are. We are going to talk about episode 5 of Superman and Lois, and episode 5 was called The Beacon. Here is Pepper.
What's up?
Welcome. Are you sad, Pepper? There's not going to be a Superman and Lois show until May 28th.
Well, honestly, I don't like doing this or anything, but sometimes I need a little break. We've been doing this multiple times, and
yes,
I'm so tired.
But you know what? It ended on a nice little cliffhanger. There's a good end note there. There's a lot to talk about this
Jordan
episode.
was getting beat
Whoa,
up.
spoilers, kid.
Warning. There are spoilers, definitely, as you may know, every time.
Yeah. So let's go ahead.
Here, if you want to be like, if you want to just see like a small, quick review of the episode.
Yeah. All right, here we go. So first question from Slim Killa X. I really don't like the CW shows. Is Superman and Lois good? Slim Killa, Pepper and I will tell you that we actually like this show. I think it's like a better quality than some of the other CW superhero shows.
I think it is good, but once again, I think it's too repetitive.
Yeah.
You might enjoy it, though. It's more like family and drama rather than action, though.
Yeah.
I'm an action person.
So, but I would say, like, for me, I really loved Arrow the first season, and especially the second season of Arrow. I liked the first 2 seasons of The Flash, too. So, if you like those shows, then I think you'll like this one. I think this is even a better quality. So, anyway, let's talk about this episode that we just watched, okay? So, there's a guy that comments on all of our episodes. His name is Donald Baines. And Donald, thank you so much. He said that this show is basically broken into 3 parts. You ready for those 3 parts? One is about the Jonathan and Jordan drama. The other part is the Lois ongoing mystery. And then, of course, you have the Superman stuff that involves the alternate Superman and Lex, Captain Luthor, right? So, Pepper, I bet I know out of those 3 which part you like the best.
Lois.
Lois? What?
Shocker!
What are you talking about?
I used to like the Jonathan and Jordan drama.
Yeah.
But it's just like too much. Also,
too much.
I want to point out their parents are like, they're like, let's get drunk, let's go yell at each other, and then their parents are like, oh, I'm so sorry. Are you okay?
Yeah. Okay. Well, you jump into the end again, kid.
Yeah. Well,
Clark goes easy on his son when he gets drunk.
No.
Well,
I'm just making my points here.
Okay. Well, anyway, look, we're going to talk about Jonathan and Jordan because I think a lot of people that watch our show, Pepper, they are really into the Superman stuff. So let's get that Superman stuff out of the way. Then we'll talk about Jonathan and Jordan and Lois too, okay? So Superman stuff, right off the bat. We don't see a lot of Superman action, but we do get to see Clark in his teenage years. So there's some flashbacks. We get to see his mom.
We get to see him yelling at his mom about how he wish he didn't live with her and stuff.
Yeah.
Average teenage stuff, you know.
Yeah, boy, the apple does not fall far from the tree, right? Because Clark, it turns out, had just as about much attitude as Jonathan and Jordan do. By the way...
Luckily, he actually apologized to his mom, which most of the time Jonathan and Jordan don't.
Yes, and since we're talking about Clark and his childhood and how his kids are kind of like him, Pepper, I thought there's one point, right? In every episode, it seems like it rotates between which one is having the drama meltdown. It's either Jonathan or
exactly.
Jordan.
I was going to compare them like magnets. They never come together to be happy at one.
Oh, look at this kid over here. Wow, all right. I like that. That's a good metaphor. Yeah, they're always bouncing off each other. They're never just happy brothers.
Yeah.
Maybe when they play football, they're a little happy.
Throw some ball.
Yeah.
No, I mean, Jonathan's not. He's jealous.
Okay, so here we go. We got another comment from Mort Sinaktu. Okay, cool, man. I hope I pronounced that right.
You're great at pronouncing it.
I am so good at it. So he said, I liked the flashbacks. You know what? I agree, Mort. I'm just going to call you Mort. I actually really like the flashbacks, too. Pepper said that Clark was good looking as a kid.
No, don't tell him.
She said he was better looking than his children. Anyway, what I was going to say was that in the flashback, we actually get to see Clark as like a vigilante almost. He kind of looked like Spider-Man, right? When he had the ski mask on and he took on those robbers. Do you remember that?
I mean, honestly, I thought he looked kind of dorky then.
Yeah.
Like, we got a ski mask and I know exactly how much you stole.
Yeah, teenage Clark was very lanky. You know, he wasn't muscular, which is to be expected when he's in those teenage years. And I know that like one version of Superman, like a recent version of Superman in the comics, I think it's like American Superman.
I mean, Peter Parker, in the movies and stuff is always kind of like more, kind of got glasses, kind of nerdy before he becomes Spider-Man. So
Yeah.
I think it's typical for teenage superheroes to not be exactly super buff.
Right. And that's the thing, right? Is that Superman, his strength is, from his amazing powers, and so he doesn't necessarily have to be a ripped dude. Anyway, we're going off on a little tangent there. He takes on some robbers, and he's come to the conclusion that he needs to leave Smallville to reach his full potential. So he's butting heads with his mom, Martha, right? Martha Kent.
Mm-hmm.
And they come to the conclusion that he needs to leave town. And now that kind of ties in with the story with Jonathan and Jordan, because what's going on with Jonathan Kent this episode, Pepper?
Jonathan broke up with his girlfriend, Eliza, I believe.
She broke up with him.
Oh, yeah. She broke up with him and dumped him by text, and that really upset him.
She called him.
She texted him. Oh, wait, no, yeah, she called him.
Yeah.
Okay, dumped him by the phone.
That's right.
He had depression the night before he was supposed to see her.
Yeah, she was going to go to the Harvest Festival.
You want to go visit your boyfriend in Smallville? Anyways, he was kind of a jerk this episode. Last episode was kind of more of a Jordan jerk thing, and this episode is more of a Jonathan.
Yeah. Well, so like we were saying, it's like a joke, right? Is that it's either one of the brothers has to have the sort of meltdown moment. They have to be like a over-the-top emo kind of upset guy, right? And so usually it's Jordan that's flipping out at his parents, but in this case, it was actually Jonathan.
Yes, for no exact reason, just because his girlfriend broke up with him.
No, that's a good reason.
Which they have nothing really to do with that, unfortunately. I mean,
yeah, they never showed her.
Control that.
Right. Well, they never showed her on the show. But
I mean, they did once. He was in a Zoom meeting with her.
Oh, they did? Okay.
But she didn't talk. It's just a picture of her.
Well, on TV shows, if a person speaks, they have to pay them. But if the person doesn't speak, they don't have to pay them.
Oh.
So, yeah. So maybe that's why she didn't say anything. Anyway, I understand why Jonathan was so upset. He had a life in Metropolis, and he was happy with that life. And he had a girlfriend, and he was on the football team. He was like on the varsity football team as a freshman in high school.
Yeah, I mean, you got a pretty nice life, and then your brother turns out to be a super freak kind of kid, and then you're like, oh, let's go move back to Smallville. And then you have to leave your life.
Yeah. And so I understood why this was coming, I think. This was a long time coming.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, and then he's like, I want to go move in with Martha.
Martha? Okay. He's conveniently named like similar to his grandmother over there.
Martha.
No. Come on. It wasn't Marvin. It was the Kelso family. The Kelsos.
The Kelso.
Yeah. So Jonathan threatens his parents to say that he's going to go live with his friend in an apartment in Metropolis.
Yeah, I'm 14.
He's 14. He's just going to go.
Also, he's 14 and he got drunk, which is illegal. So no wonder Lois was so mad.
Yeah. Watch out. We'll get up to that part too. But anyway, so there's the drama with the sons. Let's get back to the Superman stuff real quick. So we have the flashbacks, and he's butting heads with Martha about leaving. But then in the present day, there's a little bit of Superman action too. We see this character. We see Derek Powell.
Also, who connects to Lois's story.
Yeah. There's some overlap. There's always overlap between the different storylines or the plots or whatever. But Derek Powell, as we know, he went missing. His mother came to Lois and the woman that runs the Gazette in Smallville.
His mother went missing?
No, he went missing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And I always call the woman that runs the Gazette, I always call her Debbie Salad because I can't remember her name.
Debbie Salad's a good name.
Yeah. So Debbie Salad.
I'm going to name my kid Debbie Salad.
Yeah. And Debbie Salad and Lois, are shocked to find out that Derek has returned to Smallville and he's back with his mom.
But he doesn't even remember what happened to him for like a year.
Yeah.
Like, I want to point out, you can have a concussion and forget for like 2 or 3 days, but you don't, you probably wouldn't forget what's going on you for around a year.
Yeah. Well, there's something mysterious going on with him. Mm-hmm. And so he talks with...
There was something mysterious going on with him. Hint.
All right. So anyway, what happens is they go to investigate to find out what's going on with this guy, and he disappears. He leaves his mom behind.
Says he needs space.
He needs some space. The reason why he needs space is because when he was
making out with the Debbie Salad's little
Yeah.
Debbie's the freak show girl, or whatever Lois calls her in the last episode.
Yeah, Leslie Lar, I believe is her name.
Leslie Lar.
Yeah. Anyway, the reason why he left is because his heat vision just started to activate, and he caused a fire
And
down.
He burned down a shelter.
Yeah.
Not a shelter, but like a donation place.
Yeah, and so.
Dirt, do you think?
Yeah. So anyway, his heat vision, does cause the fire at this shelter, right?
Yeah, and so he's fighting with Superman.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's funny. I actually keep writing on this paper, "Don't interrupt" to Pepper, because I keep trying to say a sentence. Like I can't even finish a sentence because Pepper just keeps talking over me. I'm like, hey, this is what happens in the show. Right. Like the guy, his heat vision starts, and then Pepper's like, and they burn the whole place down. Like, just let me finish the sentence, and then you can totally say what you gotta say. Okay. So there we go. So anyway, he causes a fire. And this brings in Kyle. What the hell's Lana's last name now?
Kyle Cushing?
Cushing. So it brings in Kyle Cushing, who's on the fire department. They always got to throw in the fire department somehow. He comes in, and his friend, who's on the fire department, breathes in too much smoke from this fire, and so it really upsets him. The friend has to go to the hospital.
Not to mention he's drunk too.
Yes, there's a lot of drinking on this episode. Yeah. So anyway, besides that, once the guy is gone, once Derek has left, then Lex Luthor shows up on the scene. And this is Captain Luthor from another world. And what I liked about this particular episode is that they establish that there is another Lex Luthor. We know from watching these CW shows that there's a Lex Luthor that's played by the guy that played Ducky in Pretty in Pink. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. But anyway, he's a really great Lex Luthor in the CW shows. And they establish that he's on this world too. So the Superman in this show is supposed to connect with the Supergirl from the Supergirl TV show. They're in the same world, but they have never alluded to her on this show.
Might not.
Yeah, they might not. This is actually
because they have to cram in a whole lot of information about Morgan Edge and all Lex Luthor.
Yeah, well, the Supergirl show, it's the last season of that show. So I think they're just kind of keeping their distance from that show. And also, they want to really forge ahead with their own story. Yes.
Can I say what that guy, Powell dude, was saying?
Derek Powell.
Yeah, Derek Powell. He was like, she resurrected me. And then he was like, I'm already dead. Which doesn't make much sense to me, because if you're resurrected, you're brought back to life.
Yeah.
And if he's saying I'm already dead, then he's not alive.
Well, let's address that.
But it might be like metaphorical.
Okay. Let's address that, because to me, that's actually the most interesting thing on the whole show. Because what I think, Pepper, is that when they say they resurrected me, he specifically said, let me just put it into context so people know what the hell we're talking about. They find Derek, and Superman goes to confront him, and
he explodes.
Yeah. Superman goes to confront him, but they get into a fight, and when they're fighting, okay, listen, our friend over here is he has the point too. Maybe he has a different entity inhabiting his body. Exactly what I was going to say, which is that he says to Clark, they resurrected me. You're not alone anymore. And so to me, what that implies is that maybe somehow the souls, or like the essence of people from Krypton, exist in this kryptonite that Morgan Edge has found, and they're able to resurrect these Kryptonians in these human bodies. And I think that they did that to Derek Powell, and I think that also their friend, who we saw at the very end of this episode, Tag, right, is his name? Yeah.
But it doesn't make sense, because Tag seems like himself, even though he was kind of weird.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like he had changed bodies, whereas maybe Derek Powell had.
Yeah. And so, well, here, to just address that.
So Tag seems kind of crazy.
Yeah, but
what did you do to me?
That was the very last scene of the episode. Yeah, but before that, Leslie Lar, who Pepper said was making out with Derek Powell, she made him go into this device. It looked like sort of like a CAT scan machine.
It was called, she said, the Bride of Frankenstein machine.
Debbie Salad said it was a Bride of Frankenstein machine. Oh, and our friend said, "Oh wow, that's a crazy idea." If it is that idea, I think it's gonna be real cool, man. Anyway,
I don't know. I want to see the Super School. I don't know if they're going to bring it into context.
I don't know if they're going to do the super school. We'll see. But
then why would they bring it up? Because Tag hasn't gone. Clearly, he's freaking out and killing people over here.
yeah, I guess he escaped from the school. But
so it's like a prison.
No. Just I think he just left the school. What I think is going on here, because that machine, that CAT scan machine, if you guys noticed, there was like a bright golden light, kind of looked like sunlight, right? And we all know that Superman, his powers come from the sun, right? He has his Kryptonian DNA, which combined with the sun makes him who he is, right? And so I think that when Derek went into the machine, he was bathed in sunlight and he absorbed it.
I'll get a nice tan.
He didn't get a tan, right? Good point.
Get a tan.
He didn't get a tan, but I think that he, you know, he
maybe it was like his pore sucked it in so fast it didn't get a tan.
Maybe, but I think that like
or his brain follicles.
I think that maybe there's a Kryptonian inside of him, and that sunlight made the Kryptonian like get activated, and so that's why his voice changed too. Did you notice that his voice had that sort of that effect on it? It was
Yeah, when we have captions on our TV, and it would be like voice distorted.
Oh, there you go. Okay, very good observation, Pepper. All right, so you know we're about 60 minutes in. Let's just make a couple more points.
Well, let's not spend like 5 more minutes on Superman because we don't want to be here boring, y'all.
No, I'm telling you, the people that watch this show, they're all into the Superman stuff. They're like, give us more Superman stuff. I know you're into the Jonathan and Jordan stuff.
I am not. I like Lois better.
Okay, well, anyway, the other thing that's connected to Superman, and it is the Lois stuff too, is that Lex Luthor makes contact with Lois, and he's kind of telling her that he might have some information on Morgan Edge, and she's interested. She gives him her business card, but then I see it. So we find out that in this version, in this Captain Luthor.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I do this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
So he's all like, he's spying on them, and then he sees Lois and Clark kiss, and then we have a little flashback from his world, and he's like, everything about Lois is the same, except that she picked another guy to marry.
She married someone else.
Well, yes. I mean, not to mention you haven't even been in the world with her, so I don't see how she could be in love with you.
Right.
Also, and then his little Siri. Or Alexa.
His little Alexa, his artificial intelligence thing.
Yeah, it was like, it's not the same. Stop obsessing over a woman who's already married. And then he threw it out the window.
Yeah, he smashed it. Yeah, he smashed his little AI friend.
Which
there.
I don't think is very smart because you're going to need it to hunt down Superman.
Yeah. So our friend, he said, with infusion of crystal from the mines, maybe it enables Earthlings to acquire Kryptonian powers. I absolutely think that is the case there. They're absolutely getting Kryptonian powers. The question is, are they also getting like the consciousness of dead Kryptonians? Are the Kryptonians resurrected in them? And then one other thing is that was a reveal, Lex and Lois. Yes, we know from the comics that Lex Luthor kind of has a thing for Lois. And we've seen that in movies too and in cartoons. You know, he likes her, he's attracted to her, he flirts with her. So in this alternate world where Lex is a soldier, they are in love. They get married to each other. All right. So, Pepper, we kind of covered all the Superman stuff. I think you can take us home with the Jonathan and Jordan stuff.
Okay, fine. All right. Jonathan and Jordan.
Yeah.
So, where to start? The beginning, we have already covered about Jordan getting dumped, Jonathan getting dumped by Eliza. Yeah. But we also forgot to mention this Harvest Festival.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Good. Go.
And by the way, so what's her name? Sarah Cushing invites Jordan.
There you go. Jordan. It's hard to get the names.
Sarah Cushing invites Jordan to go to the Harvest Festival with her, and is
Okay, are we back? Can you guys see us? Stream is frozen. Okay. Are we back, though? Can you see us now?
Yes. Are the headphones plugged in?
No, they're not. It has nothing to do with the headphones. It's the Wi-Fi.
All
right, so
we're just going to assume you can hear us and start talking anyways.
Yeah, Sherry, can you see us up there? Back in action. All right,
good.
You're the man. All right, so anyway, there was one part I wanted to say that was real funny. Like, in the very beginning of the episode,
he's like, "This frozen." Wait, no.
Clark is like so excited about this harvest festival. It's kind of
chocolate bacon.
Yeah. I think it was sugar-covered bacon, but he was like super excited about
Chocolate.
it. He was really animated. Yeah. All right, so anyway, Pepper, why don't we get to the controversy, the thing that was so controversial with the two brothers? Just say it real quick.
Okay. The controversial thing was, once again, Jonathan is starting to get kind of annoyed at having to move to Smallville, and is bugging or blaming Jordan for his issues. Then, when Jordan goes on a date with Sarah Cushing, I'm going to use this as a little summary, and then we can add details later.
Sure.
Then, when Jordan goes on a date with Sarah Cushing, they're all lovey. They're like, let's talk about our depressed problems.
Yeah.
And then, just when Sarah's about to confess all her issues,
yes.
Jonathan comes walking down, and he's drunk.
Yeah.
He's drunk with his two little nerdy friends.
What a punk. Yeah. And
also, I want to point out, 14. He's 14. And then Sarah, for some reason, is like, "You're drunk? I hate you."
Yeah.
And she like storms out just because he's drunk, even though he apologizes multiple times, which I don't think a person who is coherent could do.
You mean incoherent?
Incoherent.
Like, okay. So he's drunk. You don't think a person would apologize like that if they were truly drunk?
They'd probably be like,
yeah. So, right. I think the reason why he apologized and didn't continue to act like a jerk was because they didn't want to make him seem like a total asshole, right? And so, with that scene, that's one of those CW scenes where I feel like it's sort of just forced drama. You know, they're bonding, and of that, of course, the brother comes to break up the moment. And
also, another thing with forced drama with Sarah Cushing, let's just touch on that subject. Sorry. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, let's just touch on that subject is because, what's her name? Also, another thing was her dad, like another forced drama section, was where her dad was drunk and like singing to her.
Yeah, he was singing some song in Spanish. Yeah. Like, oh, okay, that's good. That's a nice little touching moment. Okay, thanks for throwing that in there.
And then she goes, "Stop! That was in the olden days," or something.
Yeah, and then she runs away. Yeah.
Hey, by the way, Mort, I like the emojis. I'm an emoji person.
All right, there you go, Mort. Mort's the MVP for tonight, by the way. Thank you for staying with us as we got cut off from the stream. Anyway, the thing is, what I'm trying to talk about, hopefully I won't get interrupted while I'm saying it, is that with the forced drama on the CW shows, the brother comes in, he starts acting like a jerk. He's kind of out of character acting like a jerk like that, right? And so then, like, they immediately patch things up once they go back to their house. There's this kind of lingering resentment. But it's just one of these scenes where Sarah just goes off. She just has this big eruption, and she just overreacts. And that kind of stuff will turn me off a show like this. But the stuff they're building in the background with the Superman and the kryptonite and the possibility of resurrecting Kryptonians, I'm all on board for that. And I also like this parallel Earth Lex and Lois together. These were some great reveals for this episode. So,
no,
it's okay. Go ahead.
What you said about Lois being like, what's it called? Lois being not Jonathan being kind of out of character. Out of character. I can't see the word. So
I think that Pepper.
We'll just assume.
Yeah.
Do
you have a secret Kryptonian inside of you right now? You're like kind of glitching over there. What's going on?
Out of character.
Yeah. Anyways. If our eyes start glowing red, then we're in trouble. Yeah.
Anyways, so out of carelessly, it's probably because he's drunk.
Okay. So Mort, he said, I don't think the drama between the brothers felt too forced. I imagine Jonathan was harboring resentment for giving up everything he had in order to move. Yeah.
I think that's not exactly unfair. And
then he said, I just realized that Sarah probably got so mad at Jonathan for drinking because she saw how mad her mom gets at her dad for drinking.
Oh, that's a great point.
Absolutely.
It's probably because the example of her parental guardians in her life is affecting her.
Yes. So anyway, guys, that I think is a good place for us to come to a close for our episode. Mort, we really love you joining on in the comments. What, you had another point to make, Pepper?
But we didn't talk about the Lois.
Oh, what's the Lois stuff? Go real quick.
Not much exactly. She's just kind of mad at this lady, Sarah Powell. No, not Sarah. What's her name? Just
Sharon Powell.
Sharon Powell. Sharon Powell, for not caring about the story anymore. She's only caring about her son, which I think is going to be a big letdown when she realizes her son was burned to a crisp.
Oh yeah, we probably should explain that. The son, Derek Powell, after he reveals to Clark that he was resurrected, he then like sort of erupts. He like makes himself explode. So I think that maybe like if we're going along with the idea that these are humans that have like Kryptonian essence inside of them, I think that like the human biology just can't contain the power that a Kryptonian could. And so I think that's probably why he exploded. So I'm glad you brought that up because that's pretty much at the end of the episode. The very last scene that we see is the guy Tag from the previous episode who is like
punching Jordan repeatedly, even though Jordan is like really happy for once in his life. He's like, yeah, she's gonna be my friend.
Yeah,
kind of dance thing.
Yes, and then you know what? Mort brought up one more great point. Let's talk about this right before we go. I liked how Lois mentions, as they joke about how much he loves Harvest Festival, more than Clark's powers that make Superman. I've always said that his greatest power is his moral character. That is absolutely a great point. You know, Mort, you and I think, see eye to eye. And you know what, Mort? If you are on Twitter, why don't you follow me? Because I want to be your friend. I'm at Anchorpete29 on Twitter. And yeah, I like your views on Superman, man. So yes, I've said this on Twitter. I think I've said this in this show too, that what makes Superman is his values, his moral center, right? He's like Captain America, where like his goodness as a character is ultimately what makes him the hero. It's not his power.
Yeah, I mean, Superman could blow up the entire planet if he wanted to. Yeah. Also, I want to point out we didn't have any Lois dad drama today.
No General Lane, no, but and no Morgan Edge, so I'm okay with that. I like what we got. So anyway, guys, there's going to be a break. What's up?
No Thaddeus.
No Thaddeus, yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's in jail or something now, right?
Yeah, the bad guy from last time. Anyway, guys, there's not going to be a Lois and Clark. That's from like the 90s. There's not going to be any Superman and Lois until about May 28th. But we have really enjoyed watching the show and talking about it with you guys.
And we'll come back to obsess over you guys at May 28th.
May 28th. My wife is upstairs. She's hovering like Superman upstairs. She's saying, you mean March 28th? But the thing is, Sherry, we don't mean March 28th because that's in like 5 days. We mean May 28th. There's going to be a break. So we will see you guys. There'll be a 2-month break, yes. Thank you for watching, even with the technical difficulties. You guys are awesome.
Well,